Hey beautiful people, in today's episode we're going to make a pattern for a circle skirt, so stay tuned. For this pattern, you only need two measurements, your waist circumference and your desired skirt length. You will also need the following items. To get started, I'm using a ruler to draw two lines that meet at a right angle, and I am making these lines long enough to accommodate whatever length I want my skirt to be. Next, I am calculating my waist radius, which is waist circumference divided by 6. And I know it can be a bit complicated to figure out how to find the measurement that you calculated on your tape measure, so just use this as a guideline. Next up, I am measuring and marking the radius from the right angle. So I got 4. And I am measuring on the horizontal and vertical lines first. Then I am going from that peak in the corner and marking in between those two lines. Now I'm using my ruler to square out just a bit from both lines, and that's to prevent there being like a curve in the corners. Then I'm using my French curve to connect all the marks, and make sure that when you're using your French curve to connect all the marks, you use the same part of the French curve each time so that your curve will be even. Label this the waistline of the skirt. Now I am measuring my skirt length from the waistline, and this does not include the waistband. So I want my skirt to be about 15 inches long, but I'm adding an extra 1 inch as allowance for where I will stitch on the waistband as well as to hem the skirt. I have marked that on my vertical line and my horizontal line, and because my line wasn't long enough, I'm extending it here. Next, I am going to fill in all the parts in between the two marks that I just made by measuring and marking my skirt length from my waistline. And I'm going to do that all the way around until I've filled in all the spaces between the two lines. And I am connecting all those marks using my French curve. As you can see, I attempted to do it freehand at first, but I realized that was not gonna work out, so make sure that you use your French curve when you're doing this. Now that I'm done with that, I can cut my pattern from the paper, but a pointer is that you should use your ruler to create a right angle at the corners and make sure that it's not curved. That way you will avoid having any cutting issues when you're ready to cut this pattern out of actual fabric. Here I'm folding my pattern in half to make sure that it's even, and I noticed that there was some excess, so I'm cutting that away. This is the seam allowance for the zipper if I should ever use one, and I am measuring and marking 1/2 inch away from the original line and using my ruler to connect all those lines. I am cutting along that line to remove all the excess. Here is where I label my pattern, and what I like to do is to actually draw a fold symbol on my pattern so that I will know that these sides of the pattern should be placed on the folded edge of the fabric. Now, for the waistband, I am drawing 2 perpendicular lines once more. And perpendicular lines are lines that are at right angle with each other. There, I'm using my right angle ruler to make sure that they are actually at a right angle. And I am calculating my waist circumference plus 1 divided by 2. In this case, my waist circumference was 26, adding 1 made it 27, and dividing it by 2 made it 13.5. Here, I am measuring and marking 13.5 from the vertical line, and I am measuring and marking 5 inches from the horizontal line. Now that that's done, I'm using my ruler to connect all the marks in order to create a rectangle. And I'm drawing a fold symbol again so that I will know that this side of the pattern should be placed on the fold of the fabric when I'm cutting. Now I'm labeling my pattern so I will know for future reference that this is the waistband of a circle skirt. To finish the process, I am cutting my waistband pattern from the paper. And voila! A circle skirt pattern. So my next video will show you how to actually sew this circle skirt. So make sure that you watch that video. And if you aren't already subscribed, subscribe right now and give this video a thumbs up. And I will see you in the next one.